After a long and cold winter, it's finally barbecue season. And this year I'm cheating on charcoal a little bit and kicking the year off with a new gas grill, thanks to our sponsor today, Napoleon Grills. Now my grills live in my parents' house. Now my dad's been asking for a gas grill for a long time. He doesn't like using charcoal. You know, not everyone views themselves as like a weekend pit master. Some people just want to have some friends over, quickly and easily throw some stuff on the grill and just have a good time. So I've had my eye out on a gas grill for some time now. I just haven't been very impressed. That is until Napoleon sent me their new Prestige Phantom series of gas grills. I did use it, and I did cook several things on it, and I must say, I really like this grill. Not only is it functional, versatile, and powerful, maybe best of all, it comes in matte black. I mean, forget about it. You're talking a grill that has all of the function you need and style that other grills lack. That's something unique. So I got it a few weeks back. Just for context, that's when I originally hurt my thumb, so that should show you that this isn't too difficult to put together. When it's delivered, it comes in this big box, delivered on a pallet. Whenever I get something like this, I like to organize all the loose pieces. There's gonna be all these boxes, a box of grill grates, the upper rack, little pieces like the rotisserie unit, the wheels, all that stuff. You just wanna get it out, organize it, make a mental note that it's there, so when you read the instructions, you can just jump over, grab what you need, and bang this thing out. Once all the loose boxes are out of the way, the main sides of the box should then just slip up over the actual grill unit. Now I have to admit, I hate instructions that don't come with words. At first glance, looking at one of these instruction manuals, it just looks hectic. But you just have to sit on it, read through it, understand it for like 5 minutes, and it's gonna be a lot easier when you do. I'm just gonna take it step by step, and slowly but surely it's gonna come together. Should take about an hour or two. Now the only part you're really gonna need an extra hand with moving is the main grilling section, but it's light enough for my mom to be able to lend a hand, so it shouldn't be a big deal. Key is just running the gas connection through this little hole on the top shelf and then securing the grill to the stand. Then all that's left is to really screw in the shelves. Attach the gas connection to the infrared burner on the left shelf, and then all that's left is to set up the inside of the grill. Comes with these offset grill guards to protect the burners and to promote even heating. Then goes Napoleon's signature cast stainless steel wave cooking grid, which are really beautiful, heavy duty, and rust resistant. Then goes the heavy gauge multifunctional upper grill rack. And then of course you have the option for a rotisserie, which comes with the unit, which is always awesome when a grill manufacturer adds the accessories with the main unit. Now the grill is assembled and it looks beautiful in my yard. The next day I secured some propane, set it in its little place in the shelf below, tightly connected the gas connection, turned on the propane, and to check if there are any leaks, I sprayed all the connection points with soapy water. And if you see any bubbles emerge, then you have a leak. You're gonna wanna shut it down and then call support immediately and get it figured out. I'm all good here, so let's fire her up. One of the great features of this grill are these beautiful blue safety glow knobs that glow red to indicate whether the burner is on or off, or blue for a nice mood light. May seem minor, it's actually very useful to see which knobs are on and which knobs are off. These 4 main burners have this auto ignite function, so they should turn on and function exactly like a normal stovetop burner does. There is an igniter, but it's only necessary for the 2 infrared burners located on the rear and the side shelf. We're just gonna let it heat up at full power and just sort of burn off any factory gunk that's left from its production. And then it's time to start cooking some food on it. Now I could run this thing through a myriad of tests and spend all day just figuring out how useful this thing actually is, but I set it on 3 things to just sort of get a feel for how versatile this thing is. First up, I have the chicken drumsticks. I just coated the chicken in a little bit of oil and salt and then placed them in these little hanging slots on the upper grill rack. I only have the 2 far right burners on, so that should maintain about a 400-degree temperature where the chicken is hanging. To the left side of the grill where the burners are off, that should be around 275, and that's a perfect temperature for us to reverse sear a thick cut steak at. So I'm gonna put a thermometer into the steak that's about 2-3 inches and get it on the left side and just let that slowly cook there until it's ready to sear. After 20-30 minutes, the steak's around 80 degrees internal temperature, and I just give it a flip, see how the chicken is doing, and it's looking really nice. I do need to rotate the chicken a bit. I'm just getting used to sort of the hot spots of the grill and where the best place is to cook everything. When the steak hits 115, I take it off the grill and I fire up the infrared burner and get that preheating. See what kind of power this thing really has. Speaking of power, that's my main issue with gas grills. Most gas grills sort of live in the range of like a 15,000 BTU, something you might see in your home kitchen. But if you use charcoal, you're talking extreme heat that most gas grills can't achieve. But with this grill, this thing's got 80,000 BTU, so power is really not gonna be an issue, and it's really gonna come through when using the infrared. So the infrared burner is looking hot now. I'm just gonna pat the steaks dry, give it a little bit of oil, and then throw it straight on the side burner. And as you can see, this thing can cook. Flip it every 30 seconds or a minute so that nothing scorches. And you're gonna do that about 4 or 5 times until you reach an internal temperature of around 125 for a nice medium rare. Then you're gonna get that off the grill and let that rest. By now the chicken should be cooked through around 170, 180 degrees. Basically, when it's fork tender, it's nicely done. I'm gonna shut the bottom burners off and I'm gonna throw on the infrared burner in the back. Just gonna put a little aluminum foil below it to protect the grill grates so I don't have to clean so much. Then I'm just gonna baste the chicken with some barbecue sauce and sort of sear it in that way. To be honest, I probably should have used a rotisserie the entire time, but the bottom burners did work. Just like the side burner, this rear burner has some juice to it, which I love. I even let a few pieces kind of get away from me and char a little too much, but it's all good. Once they're all sort of charred and glazed, get the chicken off the grill and let those rest as well. Now this whole time I've had a pizza stone preheating in the oven at the highest temperature, knowing that when I was ready I could just throw it onto the grill, turned on the 2 far right burners, the one all the way to the right and the one all the way to the left, along with the infrared burner in the back on full blast. Let that preheat while I put together a nice margarita pizza. After a few minutes, it's ready to throw it onto the grill. Close the lid, and after 30 seconds, you can really start to smell a little bit of charring, telling you time to move it around. Give it a check, and it's looking surprisingly good. Just turn it, cook, wait a few seconds, turn it, cook, and once the cheese is melted and the crust is charred, it's basically done. If I could do it again, I probably would have set some burners off to the side and then finish the pizza directly on the grill grate just to kind of sear in the crust on the bottom. But this thing can cook a pizza for sure. Now let's give everything a taste test and see how we did. The pizza's cooked really nicely. Like I said, if I could do it again, I'd just kind of sear that crust off on the grill, finish it off. The steak, as you can see, has a really nice crust and is cooked to perfection. And the drumsticks, delicious. Tender, nicely glazed. Even with a little bit of that overcharring, it's still a delicious chicken. So all in all, when it comes to this Napoleon Phantom, I gotta say, I'm impressed. Now the Phantom series isn't actually available to purchase yet. However, you can go down in the description and click the link to find a dealer near you where you can pre-order it, and as soon as it's ready, it'll get shipped out to you. So if you want a grill that's got the power, it's got the function, and most importantly, comes in matte black, this might be the grill for you. So thank you, Napoleon Grills. That's all that I have today. I'll see you next time. Until then, take care of yourself and go feed yourself.